Hello and welcome to Gundam Customs Review of Boku no Hero Academia Chapter 110. This week's chapter of Boku no Hero Academia starts off with Inase, who practically uses his whirlwind or wind abilities to practically grab all the people, separate them from the debris, and practically save them. Now, it's still kind of rough, so he does get points reducted from it. But with this, we actually go to several different groups where we find out, like, um, for example, Uraraka, Momo, and Sato and Sero, are all working to get this one person out, and there's, like, a bunch of rubble on them. We find out that some of that rubble is kind of holding up another building nearby, and a building literally so close. And Uraraka was about to practically just move the rubble willy-nilly, which would not have been good. But with this, they worked together, and they had Sero and Sato, hold up the rubble area to be a brace, as Momo and Uraraka removed the rubble and got the guy out. Now with this, or at least I'm thinking they got the guy out. They don't really show it. But with this, you also get, like, Bakugo, Kirishima, and Kaminari, who are working together with this, or working together, it seems, and two people come up saying they have broken arms. Now with this, Bakugo kind of starts to yell at them in his angry Bakugo kind of voice, and they kind of take this as, oh, he must have noticed that we're not critically injured or super injured, we just have broken arms. Now with this, they still minus points because he yelled at them, and with this, Kaminari and Kirishima are like, phew, good thing they took it like that. So, with this, those guys go off, and we actually go to Midoriya again, who is more or less bringing the kid to the safety area to get checked out. He realizes that for a hero, it's kind of like you see what kind of injuries and stuff. Make sure that it's not really lethal. Make sure you can move them to that area without hurting them more, and stuff of that nature. Then you also have like Mineta, Ida, Aoyama, and some other ones who are running around, and then you find out, like, they need to help each other, not just their class. So, like, working with the other kids, like Ketsubutsu, Shiketsu, and I don't know if there's any other schools that they mentioned, but, like, the other schools. So they work together, and Aoyama helps this one team help out by using his naval laser, which makes light so they can see inside the rubble. I don't understand 100% how that worked, but, gave them light, so that helped the person, I guess. With this, we also get the introduction of another hero, I guess. I don't know his name. It could be Gang Orca, or that's the name of his group, because he comes in with a whole bunch of people who are dressed in, like, black. So with this, maybe his ability is to create these people, or maybe he can turn people into those for his own means. But I don't think he's a villain, or he's definitely not a villain, because from what I can tell, he's number 10 for the top heroes, and he's number 3 for the most looking like a bad guy hero. I wonder who number 2 and number 1 is. Because, well, maybe Endeavor's on the top 2 of those. I know All Might doesn't. Endeavor kind of looks like he could be a bad guy. Maybe he's 4. But he could be up there. Now with this, we actually have them break in, and it's near the area where all the people who have already been saved are kind of at. And with this, you kind of have the announcer guy, which I don't even remember his name, if they ever even gave his name. But with this, he actually is like, be prepared for the guy who was working under Endeavor and the best genist, or he was explaining that the Orca guy worked under Best Jeanist and Endeavor. That would make sense because I don't remember Midoriya working with Best Jeanist or Endeavor, unless like we're talking about like they're talking about Todoroki and Bakugo, because those two worked under them, because we have Best Jeanist who had Bakugo and Endeavor who had his son. So maybe that's what happened. I'm not 100% sure what exactly happened with that, or how to translate that, or how to interpret that, I would say. But with this, we actually go on to have really those guys go over the place, and really the chapter ends there. Now we do get a point in which Shiketsu Hai's Shishikura talks to what seems to be their teacher, because we've seen Ketsubutsu's teacher, which is Miss Jokes, then we see Eraserhead, obviously, for Class 1A, and then we have this mysterious teacher. I don't even know if they give him a name. I'm pretty sure they didn't give him a name. But with this, he's talking to Shishikura and mentioning how Stain has kind of influenced a lot of this younger generation. Even though it did happen more recently, as in like a couple months or so since then. So with this, we actually find out, like, he says that a lot of, or what Stain said, does influence what the younger youth heroes are thinking about, as they want to fix the Hero Association. And this kind of, I know this sounds really stupid, but this kind of fits into my theory that, Shindo is Dabi, because Shindo is a second year. He failed once before, we obviously know that, as he's here again. And then we have Stain, who does that, all of his stuff, and then we meet Dabi. And Dabi only gives the name Dabi, never a first or last name, never anything else really. Now with this, I really hope he is Shindo, but like this could make sense because he's failed before. If he listened to Stain too much, or what he has done, he could have been drawn to the dark side and is more or less Dabi. So with this, the chapter's really just those major points. I really loved this week's chapter. It was quick. It was pretty decent. It gave me more of a hope that Dabi is Shindo and Shindo is Dabi, because what the teacher said, maybe Horikoshi is actually foreshadowing this, as maybe all those characters we thought are from Ketsubutsu were actually the villain league. Like, yes, I know that could be just me just overthinking it, but it is quite possible. Now, everyone has their reasons why it isn't possible, but hey, we don't know for certain. I just can't wait until they prove it right or wrong. That's all I can really wait for. Any new evidence, I'll mention it in the chapter. But with that, I want to know what you guys thought of this week's chapter of Boku no Hero Academia. I like most of the chapters of Boku no Hero Academia. A lot of them are kind of slow. Last week's, I think, was a little bit slower than most of the chapters I like. But this week's chapter was medium slow. It was pretty good because you actually had them still doing heroic stuff. Then you have at the end the Orca guy coming in, and everyone needs to really just deal with the villains while rescuing people as well. So next week's chapter, most likely we're going to get Midoriya versus the Orca guy, or versus some of the henchmen and still saving people. Now, that actually seems really cool. I feel like Midoriya is going to pass, probably just by a hair too, for the second phase of the exam. Now, I don't know about other characters such as Kirishima, Kaminari, Aoyama, characters like them, but I feel like a lot of these characters could do well, because for certain, I'm pretty sure Bakugo is going to get past this next phase of the exam, as Bakugo has already kind of told those two people who said they had broken arms to deal with it themselves. He may have gotten some points deducted, but he still got points. So with this, he's very violent, so he'd probably go after a lot of the villains. And he'd probably save other people. Be like, oh, you're underneath a rock? Or something of that nature, even though he'd probably get some points deducted, depending on what he does. Like, if there's rocks falling towards the person, he could probably use his AP shot. But with this, like, Kaminari and Kirishima, they're working with him, so, like, I feel like they're a little group, and that group is probably going to survive this exam. And Midoriya, Mineta, and some other people probably going to be a group next chapter and survive that part of the exam. I'm pretty sure Todoroki is going to just be like Todoroki and be like, boom, boom, saved, broken, and just pass. So those three for certain, I'm pretty sure are going to, or whatever groups they're in, are probably going to get to the third part of the exam. And then you also have Uraraka, Momo, which, like, they were a part of Midoriya's group, but, like, they kind of got separated because Midoriya went to get the kid over to the, relief center, and the bad guys came in, so that's kind of gonna break their team up. So maybe Momo and Uraraka, Sero, and Sato will probably get, a good grade, too. That one's a toss-up, though, because with that, there are a lot of different support characters. I know Uraraka's kind of sort of a main character as well, but with this, with Uraraka, she could not get her license this year, which would play a cool part in it, because you'd have Midoriya who's doing all the heroing with a license, and she doesn't have a license. She's, like, kind of holding herself because she can't, and then you'd have all these other characters doing similar things, but then, like, I feel like it would build some of her character up a little bit more as well. And then Momo, like, if she doesn't pass, I feel like she'd just be, like, practicing again to, just do it next year. Because I feel like Momo wouldn't be like, I didn't get in. She'd probably be like, oh, I didn't get in? Okay, next time. Like, that's practically what I think most of those characters, or a lot of those characters, or a handful of those characters would be like, because I feel like Momo would be like that. Kirishima, I feel like, would be like that, though he is quite energetic and stuff. I don't feel like he'd be like, why, if he didn't make it. I'd probably say Jiro, maybe. Maybe Aoyama. Like, there's some characters that may or may not act like that. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not 100% knowing of their characters. So, because, like, we don't know some things, like, if we knew who the spy was, that would be kind of bad. Because then we'd, like, yeah. With this, what did you guys think of this week's chapter of Boku no Hero Academia? I really want to know, so put the comments in the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and I hope you guys have a custom day. See ya!